Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Friday, April 10th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, we have finished out the fourth week of the coronavirus outbreak here in America in terms of the social distancing guidelines. Most of the country is at stay-at-home orders. If your state isn't an official stay-at-home order, then most likely you're like me in Iowa, where basically following the stay-at-home orders without an official stay-at-home order. Not sure why they still haven't just issued a stay-at-home order, but whatever. Most people are staying home, and for resellers, it's been a tough road. A lot of us are kind of having to shift what we're selling, how we're selling. So I hope you have been able to hang in there. Maybe you have worked on your death pile. We all have them. Gotten stuff listed and are figuring out what to do during this time. Normally here in Iowa, we would be starting to see more estate sales and garage sales in April. Of course, that isn't happening now. One of our estate sale companies is going to be doing online auctions. They already have an online auction set up anyway, but they're going to try to be running all the estate sales through online auctions. See how that goes. Of course, a lot of local stores are trying to keep their businesses running, even if it's virtually. Restaurants offering delivery and curbside pickup. The consignment store in my area, one of their locations is doing virtual sales as well. So, you really got to feel for the brick and mortar retailers, because just like us who sell online, everyone's struggling. So there are definitely ways, though, to get inventory if you've run out. There's online arbitrage. A lot of big retailers are having major clearance, so you might be able to snatch up some deals. You can do local sourcing via Facebook Marketplace, and people are even just letting their friends and family know, hey, are you cleaning out your house? Were you going to donate stuff? I'll gladly pick it up from your porch and go through it. I would, and this is my opinion, if you can get by without investing into your business right now, it's definitely the time to think about just kind of letting things skate. You don't want to be putting all of your excess cash into inventory that you might be stuck with for a while if you need that money for bills. Now, of course, that is dependent on where you are in your life, in your business, what you're doing. But just think twice before putting too much money, cash, especially into inventory or racking up debt on a credit card if you need that money for bills, and see if you can kind of skate by. We don't know when this is going to end. These social distancing orders looks like they're going to be in effect through the end of April, and they're already talking about May. Even if things kind of start to open up a bit, it will be slowly and very cautiously. The coronavirus is still out there. The majority of people who contract it are asymptomatic, meaning they're not going to get sick, but they still have it and they can transmit it. And then if they transmit it to somebody who does get sick and does need hospitalization, the hospitals will be overrun. That's when you're hearing talk about the ventilators. If we just all went outside today and let the virus spread, the healthcare system would be overwhelmed. There wouldn't be enough ventilators for those who need them, and the casualties would be much, much higher than they already are. And they're already in horrible numbers. So stay home. I think the best quote I've seen is, "You're not stuck at home. You're safe at home." So if you can stay home, and let's support and protect those essential employees, healthcare workers, grocery store workers who have to go out and work. You're doing your part to protect them by staying home. Turning now to the reselling sites themselves, we're going to start with Amazon today. According to an article on CNN Business, Amazon has halted its third-party shipping service in the United States, which competed with FedEx and UPS. The service, called Amazon Shipping, was being piloted in a handful of U.S. cities. Amazon would pick up and deliver shipments for third-party companies that sell on its sites but don't keep products on Amazon. So not FBA sellers, but merchant-fulfilled sellers who list on the site and ship themselves. The company said it paused the service after a regular review meant to ensure that the company is best serving its customers. The pause comes amid a huge surge in business for Amazon and online shopping more broadly as people are urged to stay home and shops remain shuttered because of coronavirus. Amazon is currently limiting shipments of non-essential goods coming to the warehouse for FBA, but you can merchant fulfill if, of course, you're ungated in those categories. That's a big problem on Amazon if you're trying to sell there, is a lot of categories and brands are gated. It does say Amazon shipping is available in the United Kingdom where it does continue to operate. As I mentioned, Amazon is currently restricting FBA shipments of non-essential items to their warehouses. And according to an article on Tech Radar, Amazon sellers are protesting the FBA shipment freeze. Amazon sellers across the U.S. and Europe have protested after the company continued its stance of no longer receiving non-essential shipments of Fulfilled by Amazon, or FBA, inventory. First announced last month, the freeze for these marketplaces was originally set to end on April 5th. However, in an FAQ, Amazon states, given that the impact of COVID-19 is still developing, we do not have an exact date when operations will be fully restored. Instead, whenever possible, we will allow more products to be received while still ensuring our fulfillment centers are able to process high-priority products. A new report from Jungle Scout has revealed that at least 53% of Amazon sellers are affected by the freeze. Almost all third-party sellers sell their products through FBA, and only select sellers are currently allowed to sell products in allowed categories. Currently, the categories the e-commerce giant is accepting include baby, health and household, beauty and personal care, grocery, industrial and scientific, and pet supplies. As of now, FBA sellers in the U.S. and European markets will not be able to create shipments to be received at Amazon's fulfillment centers through Seller Central until the freeze is lifted. In all markets except for Italy, India, and France, FBA sellers can still sell non-essential products. However, they cannot send their non-essential inventory into the company's fulfillment network. This means that sellers must ship any inventory that is not already a part of FBA's supply chain themselves or use another third-party fulfillment network. Sellers can still sell essential products if they're able to create listings for them, although sellers trying to list products in one of the 6 essential categories may need Amazon approval to do so. I went on to my Amazon account today and I was looking up some of the health and beauty items that I have, and of course most are gated. I would have to go through the appeals process or the application process to sell them, and then you need to provide invoices, and it's a whole thing. And I'm just like, I'll just stick with eBay. Amazon for me for that kind of stuff is too complicated. But hopefully, if you are an Amazon seller and you can't send things into FBA, hopefully you are able to sell them merchant fulfilled, or of course you could put them over on eBay where you're not gated in anything on eBay. You can list whatever over there. So if you're gated in something on Amazon and you're feeling stuck, definitely check out eBay. Of course, you can check out Poshmark, Mercari as well. I think eBay and Mercari are the two that are really good for just random whatever stuff. Poshmark is obviously clothing accessory. Etsy is vintage or handmade or supplies to make handmade items. So eBay and Mercari are going to be your best bet for those things that normally you might be sending in to Amazon. Turning now to Etsy, according to an article on the e-commerce Bytes blog, Etsy appeals to shoppers seeking COVID-related supplies. Etsy sent a marketing email today with a surprising message. Looking for everyday supplies? Inside was a graphic showing what appeared to be a face mask, a bottle of hand sanitizer, and possibly hand wipes. People are looking high and low for products to help keep them safe from COVID-19, but they most likely wouldn't think to check Etsy first. However, Etsy appealed directly to shoppers with the email, which read, "Small businesses have what you need. Our shopping lists look a little different these days, and we're here to help you get the things you need. From cloth masks and natural cleaning supplies to self-care go-tos, take a look at these everyday supplies made with independent sellers," and then the hashtag stand with small, which is Etsy's little marketing thing that they're doing to promote their site. The email included a link to a landing page on Etsy featuring everyday supplies that included links to listings for face masks and bandanas and to categories such as cleaning supplies, washable paper towels, laundry supplies, food storage, and grooming. As soon as the CDC changed its recommendations on wearing face masks and face covering, Etsy saw high demand and appealed to sellers to help it keep up with that demand. On Friday, Etsy CEO Josh Silverman reported that its marketplace seller had sold hundreds of thousands of masks over the prior 2-day period and said over 10,000 sellers had made a mask sale in the same week. So if you go over to this everyday supply over here on Etsy, it's masks, masks, masks. And then like they said, we've got some cleaning products. I was looking to see if they are promoting hand sanitizer on their first page. And I see hand soap, dish soap. I'm not seeing hand sanitizer directly because they were telling people that you couldn't sell hand sanitizer, even though some people were making their own homemade versions. So now I'm going to go in here to Etsy. Okay, now if you go on Etsy and you search hand sanitizer, we have how many pages? One page? No, many pages. Hundreds of listings for homemade sanitizer. So if you want the hand sanitizer, looks like they're allowing it now to be sold on Etsy. I don't think they said that they were going to allow that, but suddenly it is here, along with just plain old rubbing alcohol listings, bulk sanitizer refills, again, the soap. So yeah, if you want hand sanitizer, go to Etsy. There's tons of it. Over on eBay, I did want to mention that story I talked about earlier this week with Chris Spielman's eBay account being suspended. He was doing a fundraiser for COVID-19. It has been reinstated. Chris Spielman's efforts to raise money for people affected by the coronavirus outbreak hit an unexpected roadblock on Sunday. He is a 1984 Big Ten champion, part of a Big Ten championship team, and he sold his ring and he was going to give all the money to charity. He is a former Ohio State linebacker and was in the NFL. eBay suspended his account, but he appealed that. eBay spoke to him directly, and not only have they reinstated his account, but they're waiving all fees for his auction. So that is back up. Also, over on the eBay community page, they have a weekly chat with eBay staff. So the April 8th chat, after they concluded, they opened it up for questions. And I will link in the show notes below a pretty lengthy forum here with a question or reply started by community member DM2756. And this sparked a lot of conversation in this thread. So this person posted, will eBay postpone being forced into managed payments until they have phone support? I got my email that I was forced into managed payments in late July. Even for eBay, this has to be an all-time low. To force sellers into a program that at the moment we have no phone support to call and talk to about this, no email that I could find to even email anyone. The entire country is in the middle of a stay-at-home order. Banks are closed except for drive-through and online banking, so no way to set up a checking account for this yet. And from what little I have read this morning, whole managed payments has been top secret and no one will talk to you about it until you are enrolled. I will have to submit 3 months of statements. How can I do that when we are in national shutdown? It will be May or June before I can go inside a bank to open a checking account. Why in the world would I sign up for anything, give out all my personal info, when I can't even talk to anyone how this is going to work? And it goes on. And then, of course, a lot of people are asking the same thing, which we've heard a lot of talk online. eBay put out a message to a number of sellers. Not everybody, I didn't get it, but a number of sellers, it seems, will be pushed into managed payments in July, whether they like it or not. They've been given the opportunity to pre-register for it now on eBay, so they'll be ready to go. But again, I've always used PayPal. I do not want to switch until they've got all of the kinks worked out, which apparently there are a lot of kinks on this. So yeah, I can certainly understand the issues here. A lot of people are very upset if they got that email. Now, it is July, so it is a ways away, but yeah, let me know if you got that email about managed payments and or if you are already in managed payments. As for me, I'm not moving until they force me to. Back over on the e-commerce Bytes blog, they ran a survey asking sellers on average how they've changed their pricing. The results from their readers said 5% have raised prices, 24% have lowered, and 71% haven't changed prices. Now, this is all readers who responded, and these people sell on multiple platforms, so it wasn't broken down by, do you sell on eBay, Amazon? This was just the overall response. So 71% saying they haven't changed their prices at all. One seller explained that they raised prices in relation to the increased procurement costs they were experiencing because some of their main suppliers were not open and alternative suppliers were more expensive. But they made it clear they were not increasing their margins in such cases. Others said they were being careful about raising prices due to the risk of being targeted as a price gouger, as one seller said, by either a customer or an Amazon bot. Numerous sellers said they were running sales and promotions and also adding features that allowed buyers to make offers. Desperate to create interest somehow, wrote one seller. Some sellers said they were unable to adjust their prices because of MAP restrictions, minimum advertised price. So what about you? Have you raised, lowered, left your prices the same? I've actually lowered some prices. I've basically gone down to almost my bare minimum of what I will take for an item. But even then, I've been sending some offers to watchers of 10% off of that because, again, I just want to keep my store active. I want to keep things flowing. I do have a lot of health and beauty stuff. That stuff has an expiration date on it. It can't sit around here forever. And adding in those faster sellers is helping my long tail items sell too. So not making huge profit margins over here, certainly not what I would like to make in normal times. But like this article says, just doing whatever I can to keep my store active and create interest in my items. And finally today, are you playing Animal Crossing? Now, I'm not familiar with what it really is, other than I'm hearing a lot about it and people are playing it. But according to an article on gamesradar.com, Animal Crossing New Horizon players are selling items on eBay, and you shouldn't do that. Animal Crossing New Horizons already has a thriving online gray market where sellers are offering items, recipes, and stacks of bells, all for real cash. New Horizons is the most online-friendly Animal Crossing game to date, and certain enterprising players are using those multiplayer features to sell their goods and services. If you take a quick scroll through eBay, you'll see in-game merchants offering to sell you rare delights, like every flavor of Star Wand or Animal Crossing Golden Tools. The bell selling market is also quite competitive. I feel like I'm reading a foreign language here because I don't know what this is all about. I suppose it's like extras you earn in a game. Anyway, while it is impossible to sell the items directly through eBay, merchants typically offer to either deliver their goods to your island or invite you to their island to pick up your order. Oh, good. Adults are doing this? There would be no in-game recourse if they tried to scam you out of your money. You could always leave them a bad eBay review and try to get their merchant account sanctioned, though. The problem is that all of this is a big violation of the first section of the Nintendo Switch End User License Agreement. The software is licensed, not sold, to use solely for your personal, non-commercial use of the console. You may not publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create works of any proportion for the software. It's fine if you run a little online market where you sell your friends golden tools for bells, but if you do it for real money, you've already given Nintendo the right to shut you down. And while a Nintendo legal squad probably isn't going to kick down your door, put a bag over your head, and carry you away, they might ban your Switch online account. So are you playing this Animal Crossing? I don't know. I guess maybe I should look into it. Although I don't need another game to get sucked in on my phone. I'm currently sucked into these hotel and theme park simulation games and spending way too much money on them when I should be spending my time listing on eBay. And that is a wrap on today's show and for this week's shows. If you liked today's show, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me your questions and comments. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again on Monday. Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.